Oh, we are live. How's
What's
it going?
up,
No Pardin, Wayne, Coastal Auto Reaction, Todd McCarter asking, are we there yet? Todd, that depends where you think we are.
Where are we going?
I don't know.
Space Mountain.
No, nowhere good, I can assure you. Well, this is fun. So only 9 people get to hear it because I'll say it right at the beginning of the live. I'll say it again later. I am in my Georgia studios, which means I'm visiting my aunt right now. And so I'm set up out here. It's nice and warm outside. It's dark, but I got, some light going on. But, I got my shirt. If you think the shirt's offensive, it means it's talking to you. No, I was thinking about, after I read the 849th comment about people that say they have these parts in their garage and think that it means something, that they're never going to do anything. I said, I need a shirt for those people. So I made one. Don and Wendy English.
What's up, guys?
Edge McBain. Edge McBain sounds like a name that would have been in Back to the Future. John Trudell. Go Bulldogs, indeed. Mo Pardin, Georgia on my mind. That's just because he wants to get out of New York. Howdy, Todd McCarter. You and Mo Pardin are going to do a reboot to Mad Max where you both escape New York together. And just, one of you runs block for the other, and you just get out of there.
Yeah, we'll just put a big plow in front of the satellite, and we'll be all right.
Yeah. Coastal Auto Reactions is good to see you both. Thank you much.
To see you, man.
71 Chevelle 406 in the house.
How you doing, sir?
Trudell says, Lunar, what's up, brother?
Doing well, man. Yourself? I can't see comments. We're going to rely on John. So I'm the, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all fancy like this, since you know who we are. Dust Devil Garage, Bryan Brinker. And Don and Wendy English says, apparently you look like Kurt Russell. So you're the Escape from New York, Kurt Russell. I'll take that.
William Sanders, thank you. That is the first compliment I've gotten on YouTube. Yes, you're right. I'm so tired of hearing from all these people that are sitting on holy grails that would regulate us all if they so chose. And they won't, and they never will. Lout Burns is in Newburgh, New York.
There you go. That's about further south than me quite a bit, but not terrible.
Trudell just watched Tony's new video. I'm trying to remember what that was on. Making that 4-barrel work on the Plan Z Slant 6, as I recall. I hadn't seen it yet. Mo Pardin is headed to Hershey fall meet. Mo Pardin is I think he is paid by the government to collect intel on car shows, because I don't think he misses a show. In like a 20-state region of the Northeast. I'm so envious. He gets to do that. I'm glad. I'm glad to get to see him.
I really wish I was able to hang out with some of my friends that do that type of stuff. It's especially one of them that drives around in a GS. Freaking the amount of time you have to dedicate to go to those car shows is crazy.
Oh yeah, it is. It takes a lot of work to organize anything.
Oh.
Bryan Brinker wants the bumper.
I'm slowly accumulating all the parts I need to build myself, or probably rebuild that 171 Roadrunner in that salvage yard. It's going to take a lot. It's bad.
Don and Wendy are 4 minutes into it. I'm assuming that's Don or Wendy, but it could be both Don and Wendy, and one of them has the keyboard and one of them has the mouse. We're not privy to such things. Yeah, he says we're gonna like the episode this week. Sure, I'll tell you what. I'll give it to those guys. They hustle.
Absolutely,
they do stuff.
They go all over the great north.
That is
northern
my
region.
That is my peeve this week. Are the do nothing people on YouTube, and so I like these crowd that we have who do stuff. I think it's cool. Well, most of the car shows in northeastern Pennsylvania. Well, I'm glad, because that's as far north as I want to go. I might go to New York to see Bryan, but that's the only thing. That's the only thing that could get me any farther than Pennsylvania.
We'll have a good time.
I've never been farther north than that. Never. It's scary, man.
Vermont's a pretty nice place, I'll tell you what.
Vermont is terrifying.
Why is
it's
it terrifying?
That's where Bernie Sanders is from. It's terrifying.
It's just the wrong part of Vermont. I spent 8 months in Vermont. There was nothing to do there, but
yeah, all I think of when I think of Vermont, I think of cold and maple syrup and Subarus.
The least restrictive gun laws in the entire country.
Not now. At one time, they were the first state to be permitless carry because they're the only state that has never had a permit to carry. Never. The other 49 have all had one of some kind. Alaska was the first state to get rid of theirs. But since then, Vermont has adopted all kinds of stuff. So that is no longer true, unfortunately. But I did give them credit for that in the day. I
did not know that.
Yeah. Mo Pardin is welcome to go on a Catskills cruise with us anytime. Well, I'll tell you what, it'd be great if you could get him because he does great videography of these shows. I enjoyed coming to swap at Carlisle with Mo Pardin. He is a great guy. I'm hoping that you make it to the Carlisle show. I'm wanting to hang out with Lunar Outlaw at the Carlisle show in 2022. I've already got reservations. So
yeah, well, hopefully nothing happens like last year or this past year.
Well,
so that's assuming nothing else crazy.
That couldn't happen twice if you wanted it to.
I sure the heck hope not.
But you know what the funniest part would be? Is if it did, it wouldn't be her, it would be you.
With a crayon in my ear?
Yeah. Let's see here. We're leaving again Friday for a 2,000 mile trip. My gosh, where are you going, to China? No, it's an M1 Mercury truck. Oh, that's cool. What year M1 Mercury truck? They didn't make many, but those are neat. Those are neat. And I hope for your sake that it still has the tailgate. Because if it doesn't, you're never going to find one. Update on the Dark Sport drag car. Yes.
Yes.
So I've got a house that I'm having to do a major amount of work on right now in Bluefield. And I put a post on my community tab with me up on a roof. But I'm doing a lot of work, plumbing, electrical, structural. It is a huge job, and it is going to go well into the winter. That is really cutting into my time to do stuff. That said, I'm laying some groundwork for some things in 2022 that include the Dark Sport. Yeah. What are you doing? Vandalizing your own studio?
Apparently, I can't lean back on my couch.
Yeah, Don and Wendy says our group has 3 rooms already. Seriously, if you want to make reservations there, you can always cancel them. But we'd love for you to be there, Brian.
Yeah, send me a link to the place and I'll set it up.
Yeah, I'll do it. That goes for any of you guys. If you want to come hang out with those of us at Carlisle who can make it, and I absolutely intend to, and I plan to bring something ratty and interesting, we will be staying in Enola. And I'll probably post the details of where we're staying, because not only can you guys stay there and hang out with us if you want to, we'd love to hang out with any of you guys, but we'll also do a live from there. So you can be in the live and be on the other side of the camera heckling people who show up. Yes, Mopar, and those are rare. Brian says, everyone come to the Indy Swap Meet in March. I would never rule it out. I've never been to Indy before. It sure sounds cool. Probably going to be too much for me to do in March, but you never know.
I don't know what I have scheduled for me in March.
Yeah. He says to 51 and the tailgate is there. Sweet. That needs to be the thumbnail for your video, that tailgate.
That's a wicked find, man.
There's a lot of people who have no idea Mercury made trucks. You be up on that roof? Well, I've got another one to do, so come on, William Sanders. We will put a hammer in your hand and feed you, and would love to have you. The roof is in Bluefield, West Virginia. Okay, on the Hemi. So the Hemi has a a motor mount ear that is broken off. I don't know how they did it. I guess what they do is they put a breaker bar that's about 10 feet long on it and then have an elephant stand on it to tighten the bolt that holds down to the bracket. I don't know. But they broke off an ear on the motor mount. So Charlie Overfelt Welding, he is looking for me a mount ear. Brian's looking for me a mount ear. If you find me a mount ear, we'll use that. But when we get the mount ear, we're going to weld it onto the block. And I'm going to get video of that. And then the block will go directly, because the welder and the machinist are in the same town. Literally, when I get it welded, I hope to weld it in the morning, and I will take it in the afternoon over to Terry Walters, also in Roanoke, Virginia. And we're going to, those bores are pretty rough. They're way past honing. So I'm hoping a 20,000th cleanup will get them to use stock 345 Hemi pistons, and then that will go together. That is the idea. But that's what I'm waiting on there. As soon as he finds that ear, that block is going in for welding and machine work.
I'm sure you've encountered the same thing I have. I don't know if I can turn my camera around. Nope, I can't turn around. But the parts for these things, now yours is more expensive than mine.
They're hard to find.
But this one right here, this is bored to 341.5 cubic inches. So
what is it again? How many cubes, Brian?
341.5.
341.5. How do you get that?
60 over.
60 over on a 331?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, nice.
Unfortunately, everything's custom, including the connecting rods, and those are incredibly expensive.
Ooh.
Trying to get them right now is... So I like your idea of using stock bore.
Yeah. Well, the pistons aren't bad. You can get a set of pistons relatively inexpensively, but I can use stock 345 Hemi pistons. The Adventurer had a 20,000th bigger bore.
Right.
So I can do that. I actually managed to score a Wyand 2.4 intake for a Dodge, and Andy Wood and I are going to get that thing mounted up and matched up. That'll be cool.
I know. The 331s, you can bore them to 120 over.
Oh, yeah, you can go way over. Easy. The Chrysler and the Dodge Hemis and DeSoto Hemis are all different, which I always thought was crazy. It would have been so nice if they had a common modular foundation. Think how many things people would be using them in if they were a little bit more common.
Oh, yeah. They're great engines. Absolutely great engines. They're like, it's crazy, right? So I can lift that block up. Just the block, the bare block.
Yeah.
And the LQ4 engine I have on the stand right there, which is physically smaller, I can't.
Huh.
So they made those engines. They're high nickel. They're very high nickel, so they're strong. But they're very light, which is very surprising to me.
Well, they are strong. I mean, you can't forget they use those things for top fuel for a long time. Rude Mopar dude in the house.
The least rude guy you'll ever meet so far.
He's the most polite, rude guy I've ever met. Don and Wendy English say, you bringing a car? Yes, definitely bringing a car. I'm not going to walk there. But I do plan on having something on the show field. I do. And you're going to hear about that real soon. In fact, I may not have told Don about it, because I've told Brian about it, I think, but I haven't told him on my channel yet, because if you put stuff on your channel too early, people start hounding you about it. So I would just rather not put it on my channel yet. But I've got something really cool in the works. Got my truck, hopefully pull a car. Yeah, by all means. Tell Lunar he is welcome to ride down to Carlisle. It's only an hour north of my location. He's only an hour north. Yeah, Mopar Den is there close to you.
Yeah, sometime you have to email me. We'll have to get together and do something.
Yeah, he's a super cool guy, super nice guy. Also going to be headed to Bogota. they pronounce it Bogata. How do they pronounce that?
Driving or flying?
Reaction, guys.
That's a long ride for you.
You're going to, my goodness. Now, don't cross into Mexico. You don't want to get two countries away. What I'm bringing will identify as a 62 Valiant. Maybe. Apparently, anything can identify as anything now. Yeah, that's going to be the thumbnail. Of course. Why would you miss that opportunity? Why not just run a motor plate? Because I don't want to do a motor plate in the car it's going in. I can fix that ear and run mounts, and it will more jibe with the car. DeSoto Hemis are most underrated, Jim. Tell you what, Brian, you really bring the people, because I've got more people watching, so I can't even stay up on the comments.
The DeSotos they're really great Hemis. I don't know too much about them. I kind of went down the rabbit hole with the Chryslers, and man, those are great. But
well, it's a fun little journey. Oh no, Mopar Man 78 in the house. We better shape up.
You got to bring your wallet to that journey. Oh my God.
Yeah, he has a one rocker cover from a 392. Yeah, those make good wall hangers.
Yeah, well, I don't know why people change them out from the 390. Like, they're really cool. Switching it over so that you can't hide the spark plugs, to me, just, I don't know. I like being able to hide the spark plugs. They look good.
Well, Brian Brinker, if you do fly to Carlisle, we would love to see you, and you can bum rides with us and everything, and that'd be cool. Just definitely cross into Mexico, get some drugs, and bring it back to the States. Don't tell us about it if you do. You've been watching too many Clint Eastwood movies, like The Mule.
Great movie. Clint Eastwood's the greatest actor we've ever had in our country. I love
90 years old, and he's got another new movie coming out. He's 90.
I mean, the amount of movies he came out with were like, whether it was The Fistful of Dollars, A Few More Dollars, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, Hang 'em High, freaking awesome.
Yeah, he is really good. I think of all the Dirty Harry movies, my favorite was Magnum Force. I just really like that one with the cops on the bikes. My mom and my Aunt Nancy are in the house. Actually, they're literally just like over there somewhere. They could be out here hanging out. In fact, you can see him over here. Got my dog here as co-pilot. He's over here sitting in the chair. You say hi, Jethro? He's over here.
I have Danny over there. The alien skeleton, but that's the only one that's down here with me.
Did I mention I have a swinger? Yes, I do. I have a 70 swinger, my first car. Still have it. Clint will probably die on set. That's probably true.
That'd be sad.
Ari made it. Always glad to see him. Ari, how's your Slant 6 project coming? We need to be hearing some news of it getting all fired up and driven. Gran Torino's a good movie. I agree with that. I don't remember him whacking the cop on the bike per se, but I remember it was a good movie. I can see MM78 watching that. Yeah, Jethro's a cool dog. You got all the attention. More people know my dog than know me. He is a rock star.
The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, no one can convince me otherwise. It is the absolute perfect movie for Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Well, it's like the argument, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Oh, it absolutely is.
Of course it is. Why is that even a question? This guy tore apart a 318 that had been swapped in his 79 Power Wagon from a car, had a plastic timing gear, still has the cross hatching. Yeah, I find that with a lot of those later ones. They're good like that. The early ones, a lot of them, I don't know what was different, but they usually did not have as nice as cylinders when they came apart, mileage regardless.
I wonder if it was their metallurgy, if like they slacked on the... Probably.
Something in the metallurgy.
The cool thing about, I find, at least personally, with the nickel added into the steel, not only or the cast, you get a more like sturdy, stable block, but they're also they seem lighter.
Yeah. Well, it's stronger per pound. You don't have to have as much material if it's stronger. What am I doing in Georgia? I am here visiting family, and I'm going back through Tennessee. He's at a standstill with the Slant 6. Oh, he's still waiting for the machinist. Well,
Oh,
you didn't tell the machinist you weren't in a hurry, did you, Ari?
yeah, they had that 455 block, and he did me well, except for a couple of things. But he had that block for a little over a month, and I still have to pull the cam bearings back out because when he installed them, yeah, you can't even see where the oil is supposed to come through. So
who put those in? Who put the cam bearings in?
I don't. I think so they had a problem with the machine shop. The owner of it passed away, and everything kind of got all discombobulated. And so whoever put it in, they were not paying attention. So
I got to tell you, the thing with cam bearings, they have that interference fit. That's all that holds them. I am hard pressed to take a cam bearing out unless it's bad. So when these guys hot tank a block that really I don't think should be hot tanked, they change the cam bearings because they hot tank it. I think that's just, you're giving up $1 and getting a dime. So
it wouldn't have been bad as long as he installed them where the oil
came. But they're more likely to spin or seize when they've been changed. Just changing them in general. I mean, if you have to do it, you have to do it. I've put them in, but
the oil was like bad. It was so bad that not only did I have it hot tanked, it had to be jet washed too. So they put it in the machine and jet washed it. The oil galleys were so caked that it was like you couldn't pipe clean it. It was that bad. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Ari's telling us. Is this the same machinist that thought that 1/1000th of an inch was enough clearance? A half or 1/1000th was enough clearance for your main bearings? I didn't tell you about that, did I, Brian?
No. Oh my
God.
Ari
got a crank turned, and the guy told him that he needed something crazy like 1/1000th of an inch main bearing clearance. I mean, I guess he just wants to turn a journal purple. I guess. This is cool. Jonathan Couchy has a set of 318 poly heads he's been porting. I'm anxious to see that. That is cool.
Those semi-Hemis were great engines.
Yeah.
They're huge. That's kind of the reasons why they went towards the LA blocks. But
the block is the same size. It's just the heads stick out
the heads.
Far. Yeah. But that's what they should have developed. They should have done that instead of the LA.
I think I don't like. I'm not a Mopar guy per se, but what I heard was the reason why is so they could fit it in the A bodies.
Yeah, that was the idea. That was definitely the idea. Yeah. Their 68 383 had 200,000. Well, that was a well taken care of engine too. That's cool.
Coastal has some great products over on his channel. If you guys haven't already checked out Coastal, you got it. He's got a lot of great stuff over there.
These guys have a lot of fun. He's going to get the block and find a new machinist. I'll stay out of that one. All right.
It seems like the past 3 machinists I've gone to have had issues with. I went through and I actually ported and polished a set of 317 heads for an LS engine, and I even polished the combustion chamber, and I brought it down and had them finish cleaning it because you polish it all up. And I got it back, and it looked like 400 grit sandpaper.
Wow.
Yeah. So he must have hot tanked it in the same exact chemical that he hot tanked the steel ones, and unfortunately, it just attacked it. So now those heads are on my this thing right here. So God knows how many hours I have into those heads, but unless I'm polished them.
All right. So tell people what the deal is, what it means to be a Hemmings Pro. I've had people ask about that.
All right. So Hemmings, they're trying to more represent the average, as far as my understanding of it, and that's the reason why they approached me for it. They wanted to select a handful of content creators that represented the hobbyists and the people that most, we, like you and I, most identify with. People that work in their garages, their home garages, or maybe a little bit more upscale, but they wanted to be able to capture some of the audience that they feel were being left behind. Okay. So we were totally autonomous. We can work on whatever. As you can see, we have the GS, which I'm waiting on parts, which probably, other than welding on stuff and getting the engine put together is, it's a long-term project. We have the satellite. We have or I should say, I have the Toyota Supra, the 81 Ram, which is being, we're waiting on the wiring harness for that. So I can focus on whatever I want to. I'm not rigid to work on just things like my 63 Cadillac. I don't have to have all original cars. I can do my Rat Rod satellite or my What If Supra.
Well, so let me just try to frame this, because there's a lot of people might not get it, because we have all ages watch this. There are probably people, 30 and under, that don't know what Hemmings is. And maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but my vision when I have thought of Hemmings all these years has been your really nice show cars on nice green grass show fields, and you have the book with really expensive parts people have for sale, and it's like very pretty. It's the country club crowd.
Like this one.
Yeah, and no offense, you're not the country club crowd. You're the cool crowd. So it looks like they're wanting to kind of reach out to regular guys.
Right. So the car, especially like in the Northeast, we have a lot of people that are really just purists. But that's changing. The entire landscape of the automotive industry is changing more towards like the roadkill kind of people. And you can kind of tell that's what they're, in my opinion, what they're aiming for, because they picked some really great content creators like D-Boss Garage, Vice Grip, Dylan McCool.
Right.
You get people that are working on full LS swaps like LSX Terry LSX, and Junkyard Diggs. He has literally, he recently pulled a Dodge Dart. I think it was a Dodge Dart that was burnt right to a crisp. And I think that's where our industry is going, as like you and I as hobbyists, because cars are just ungodly expensive.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what it is. It seems like, the 63 Caddy, the prices for that thing, I'm blown away by. I didn't pay that much, and I couldn't. Or even my Supra. My Supras, those things are going roached out like bad junk. Don't even bother with them. They're almost 10 grand. It's insane.
Well, I know one of the changes, and again, I'm not party to any of this. I'm just kind of looking at it from the outside.
What's up, Fubar?
Yeah, thanks for posting the link, Fubar. Fubar is the best moderator on the face of the earth. For real. He is the best. I mean that. Any channel, anybody's, nobody competes with him. So I met Roland George of Hemmings, and Roland's like what, early 30s? He's a young guy.
He's a year younger than me.
Yeah, so he's helping, I guess, drive the ship toward more young guy relatable content with Hemmings, right?
That's kind of what my understanding it is. So I mean, I'm still on the outside looking in. I'm kind of like a contractor type thing. So I'm not privy to everything. Right.
But I'm just saying we see it, and it's curious and it's interesting. And I got to say, when I saw your satellite, the Hemmings will be about the 10,000th thing that would cross my mind, but apparently they like it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's only going to get more ridiculous. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Coast Lottery action, guys. You guys doing stuff with Hemmings. Oh, yeah. I was fishing for this comment here. The only time I've seen Hemmings was mentioned with My Classic Car with Dennis Gage. Whatever happened to that show?
I grew up with the Hemmings magazines inside the household. Mostly the muscle machines and just the big one that you get, but
yeah. Well, you know what? There's something for everyone, and I'm glad that they're realizing that things that are loud and primered and not kosher are cool too.
Rowdy Muscle is awesome.
Tom Muse, thanks for joining us. Okay, thought about the previous topic. Which previous topic might that be, Tom Muse? Still being done with Dennis Gage. Is it on YouTube or I don't know. I don't watch TV anymore. It's maddening. So I just don't. But is My Classic Car on YouTube or something now? I never seen a recommendation for it. This says all shows went to Motor Trend. Not all shows. My show didn't go to Motor Trend. Bryan's show didn't go to Motor Trend.
A lot of great channels that are independent.
What's up, Jed Scott?
What's up? What kind of car is that? I can't see it, so I have a little tiny image.
Yeah, Jed says he can't hang out, just wanted to stop in and say hi, and thank you for stopping in and say, Jed, when are we going to have you on here? We'd like to try to do these every 2 weeks. Love to have you as a guest.
That is 73, I can't tell.
Jonathan mentioned piston offset. No idea. Tom says the live build. Okay, so we're talking about the live build. I can't believe that came up. It took 31 minutes.
Right?
What about the live build? What do you want to know about the live build?
I had a lot of fun. The stakes at the end of the day were great.
I did too. I enjoyed it, and I would do it again tomorrow. It seems the best automotive content is on YouTube. That's because the best automotive content is on YouTube, hands down.
100%.
Not even close.
Not even to beat up on Motor Trend, but I mean, their pay through paywall service that they have is not really that good.
So I don't know those guys, right? What it just kind of feels like to me, what it feels like to me is they were on YouTube, they were accessible, right? They were satisfied with their ad revenue. Well, and then all of a sudden they decided to do the paywall thing. So I'm like, okay, you were part of the community where we're all prospering together, and now you say, I'm going to have my own.
Discovery bought them. That's why.
Wow.
And then they did that, and it's the reason why I say that is because it's not so much road grill because they don't have that much content anymore. It's more like they're doing like donk racing. They have Kevin Hart doing muscle car stuff right after he sued someone because old school lap belts weren't like.
It's
and Rust Valley has gone downhill.
Like Power Nation or Stacey David. I got to tell you, those shows, I mean, for at least the last 20 years, they've been nothing but commercials.
Right.
It's just bad.
And it's like, here, let me do something totally trivial and then spend 25 minutes talking about this product that they probably never even touched in their life. And, it's the greatest thing since it's like, no.
Okay, Stacey David's on YouTube. Well, good for him. The thing with Stacey David, he actually seems like a talented guy. He does seem like a talented guy, but again, it's just all commercials and stuff. I would like to see him have a show where he just does nothing but talented things and just lives off his ad revenue instead of sponsorship stuff. Okay, have no idea what that's about, Tom. I haven't seen the video and no idea, my man. I'll check it out. Sorry, I just haven't. I don't know what's up with that. Kevin Hart got his own Motor Trend on Demand show. You know what's funny? I hate to say the Kevin Hart thing. I get a commercial for his show. So the only thing I have ever seen of that commercial is, hey, I'm Kevin Hart. Click, skip ahead. I've seen exactly the first 5 seconds of that commercial, and I've never seen the sixth. Oh, Duddy's Adventure. Good deal. Duddy has run a 3,000-foot cable so he could get internet down there in his corner of North Mexico. I'm glad he could join us. By the way, Duddy's Adventure, that is a really, it is an underrated, underknown channel. It is really good. Do not let his subscriber count fool you. That is a great channel. It's well produced. He knows a lot of stuff, especially if you have a four-wheel drive. That's a great channel. Check out Duddy's Adventure. I'm really digging that channel, yeah.
I'll have to take a look at it. Kevin Hart's a funny comedian. But
yeah, Moparnut62 says he's talented. Yeah, whether you're talking about Duddy or anybody else on that, but Duddy for sure.
I'll have to check him out. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I like Duddy. Yeah, I don't keep up with the politics of that. You cannot pay me to watch Kevin. I don't know. See, okay, so what are Kevin Hart's credentials as a car builder? Seriously. I know he was in a high-profile car wreck, and I know he likes cars, but what am I going to learn about cars from Kevin Hart? And that's to each, his or her own. This is not my style. Well, he's got Jed's endorsement. What else do you need? So you'll hear something funny. I'll say it since Jed's on here. Just Mopar Joe was sending something to Jed, and I dared him. I said, I dare you to send it to Westboro and carry Jed and let Jed go get it from him. But he's like, nah, I can't do that. Jed lives like an hour or something south of Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh, no.
Like the most repugnant people on earth. But he lives at, I don't know, it's close enough that you don't. Yeah, I just thought that was funny. Hemi's not cheap. No, they are not. No Hemi is cheap.
Scary. You're like, I have those pistons are $1,500.
They are not cheap.
And then you're gonna, connecting rods are another $750, and that's.
Yeah. Jed decided to hang instead of editing videos. Well, thank you. We're glad that we can contribute to the demise of your channel. But no, seriously, we're glad you're here. Mopar Nut 62. That's another good channel. He's an interesting character, knows a lot of stuff, especially about the old Mopar. That's a good channel. He says he likes grassroots builders, not actors.
Yep.
100%. 100%.
So you actually know what really is going to happen when you start opening that Pandora's box. It's not going to be magically fixed and be like, oh, yeah, it's fine.
And so Coastal Auto Reaction says he's got to go edit. We certainly understand, but thanks for coming by. We appreciate it, guys.
Pleasure to see you, man.
Mopar Den, thanks a bunch. Thanks a metric pal for that. Support for the live. Thank you very much. Well, I can tell you what. See how I got this shadow on one side? Thanks to Mopar Den's contribution, that will go away. I will get a second light just for Mopar Den. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
I get a second light, he says.
That's right. I'll get a second light just for Dennis. I appreciate that. No, Scott, he didn't. Whatever. Joe called me about something. I can't remember what it was, and he was in the middle of working on something and mentioned that, and I dared him. Wayne says he's considering buying an HEI distributor from CRT. Which CRT? Because when I think CRT, I think Cope Racing Transmissions. Which CRT are we talking about? The 5 o'clock shadow? No, what it is when I go on vacation, my razor does too.
Mine's been on permanent for decades.
Look, Coastal, thank you so much. Now I'm not going to have a second light. I'm going to upgrade my lights. So I'm going to get the ones with diffusers on them.
That's fantastic, guys. Keep it up.
That's it. That's it. He can't imagine Cope selling HEI. No, I can't either. I can't either. I've never met Cope in person, but I'd like to. That guy is really smart.
You got to get him on one of your lives. It'd be a great interview.
Thank you, Coastal Auto Reaction, guys. I do really appreciate that. It's very much appreciated. I do this channel for fun. I do try to bring you guys good content, but anything you guys contribute, it goes right back in the channel, and I thank you so much. I try to deliver better content for that, so thank you. HEI for what engine? No idea. LEDs with diffusers, yeah. Okay, I'm a really analog guy, but yes, I agree. Yeah, he's going to hang out with Cope at Indy. Yeah, I've never been to the state of Indiana. Just too far for me. So, I'll tell you what, it's hard to keep up with comments tonight because we got like a nice crowd here. It's an energetic crowd.
Yeah, they seem fun.
I'm used to having 30, 40, 50, but not this energetic. These are like so like these are the Spartans of the 30 people, you know? I can't believe the catch Just Mopar Joe did here. in my own state. Oh, yeah, in Michigan? Yeah, he went up there and loaded up. Yeah, Indy's worth the drive. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I hear good things. So what else is going to be going on with you, Bryan? What are the new things that we should be on the lookout for?
Well, so we have a metric ton of parts coming, so I can do that 1UZ swap.
Really?
Yes, that's cool. I have all the transmission stuff, so we can get that mounted to the end. To get it in there and make up some engine mounts, and hopefully we can get that together before the snow falls, so we can do at least a bit of a burnout. And then next year we'll really thrash on it. I know in the spring I'd like to see which one's fastest. Which one's fastest, the Supra or the Satellite? But today I got to put my hands on a car that I've been meaning to start for going on 7 years, and it was we'll have a video coming out very soon of a 1989 square body Chevy GMC 3x3.
I love that comment.
What is hold on a second. An Uzi.
Yeah, great.
Hold on a second.
I like that. No, the Uzi has a quieter valve train. I don't know if you're talking about me, Mopar, not 62, but if you are, I appreciate that.
This is a 1UZ.
All right, educate us about those things. I don't know anything about them.
All right, I'm going to put this down for a second.
All right.
We'll show you off.
All right. That'd be great.
Can't turn the camera backwards, so we'll just go ahead and try doing my best. This is a 6-bolt main, all aluminum construction, 4.0 V8.
Huh.
Now, they're kind of, one of the reasons why I like them is they're kind of like a Hemi in a lot of aspects, except for you look at these heads. You have dual overhead cams, small valves, but their actual surface area is significantly larger than even the first gen or second gen Hemis.
How shrouded are they? Can you get a little light on that chamber? That thing. So how big is the bore? Can you open that up a little bit?
You could. You don't really need to. They're very efficient as it is. I actually have the hold on a second. I have the calculations on how much air you can flow through these. In theory, just in actual like surface area. Gonna go into the not so tidied up area of the house.
These comments are funny.
But I'll tell you what, they produce almost as much horsepower as the first generation LS engines, and they weigh 80 to 90 pounds less. And they can rev a lot higher. And they can produce up to 1,000 horsepower. But I don't know why
I'm kind of thinking like Jonathan here. My dog is being so good. I can't even hardly remember he's over here. He's being so good. He says he's going to unshroud those valves. I think that could be a key to those things. But I don't know much about a 4-valve head.
Well, the thing is you look at the LS. The LS has really big valves in actuality. Your cumulative valve size on an LS, which is a 2.0 and on the input and the 1.5 on the out. The actual size you're looking at is around 6.28 inches of actual diameter.
Yeah, area. Well, no, it's power squared is your area.
Right. So if you look at the LS, you're at 6.28. The exhaust is 4.87. Now you look at the 1UZ, and the input is 9.74, and the out is 6.92. So they're small valves, but in actuality, they're able to breathe a lot nicer. And because you're using buckets instead of push rods, you can rev them like freaking till tomorrow.
So what is this about Lexus?
Oh, that's so it's out of a Lexus SC400, but the rest of the world, it still came in Toyota.
Okay. I see. I don't know that. I think that's interesting. I didn't.
So the reason why I chose it, not only is it a very capable engine, but one of my favorite automotive cultures outside of the United States, because of course, number one is always the US, is the Kiwis and the Aussies, because their mentality has been is like stuck in the 70s, and they have a totally different set of tools to do the same thing as what we do. And I can't get my hand on a Ute because I would love a freaking Ute.
Yeah,
like
those are cool.
I would love a Holden Ute.
Those are cool.
Someday when I think it's 25 years old, we can import them. I'll be.
But how would you ever get parts? You'd be miserable getting parts for one, I would think.
Everything I do is miserable getting parts.
that is true. You know what's funny is I can't remember who I was talking with, but we were talking about something. This car that had a frame rail that was just rotten completely on one side, and they said, "Oh, it needs a frame rail." I said, Bryan would look at that and say, "Hey, man, half of that frame rail is good. I can fix it." You know?
No, I don't mess with frame rails. I do I'll replace the whole frame rail or a whole frame. Anything that is structurally important for you so you don't die in an accident or,
Yeah, right.
Go.
Right. What is it going into?
It is going into my 1989 Toyota Supra. We can go for a walk out there, too.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, it's dark, but we have lights.
Let's go for a field trip.
To go from the nice, cleaned up area to the total disaster.
Mopar Nut 62 says, wait till think parts are hard now. Wait till they all go electric. The key word there is they, because when they go electric, they can have it. I am not going electric. You wait for me to go electric, you got a long way.
All right. Where's the light? There's the light. Well, one light. We'll grab a flashlight because I can't use my... I'm going to get eaten by a bear. Get up there, you piece of crap. Oh, it's bright.
We look like we're telling ghost stories or something with this light that we both got going on.
There we go.
Oh, man. Dallas Brown in the house.
A flashlight too out of the Escalade here.
Yep, Dallas says he wants the stall go electric. Dallas just wants to have a Tesla class for AHRA. If any of you guys support racing for the rest of us, check out the American Hot Rod Association. If you're not a member, you should seriously think about it. I'm a member. That is the sanctioning body for the rest of us.
So this is what it's going into. This is a 1989 Toyota Supra. The goal is to keep it just below 3,000 pounds. It's got a full dual wishbone suspension front and rear. And even though this thing sat outside in a parking lot for 12 years, so the paint's all burnt off of it, the actual body of the car, as well as all the bracketry, is basically like completely fresh.
Huh.
I don't know if you can see that. Which, may I point out, is completely rare for up here.
That doesn't look like a Northeast car underneath.
No, this thing it's very, very clean. When you go inside, the interior was replaced because the interior was all burnt to hell too. But and I've had
is that the one that had the ripe nasty seats in it?
Which one was that?
No, which one did had the seats that were so bad you said you didn't even want to sit in them? Or was that was your parts car, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the parts car.
That was the other one.
Yeah. This one this thing sat after I replaced the interior out of it years ago. This thing sat in the garage for a long time until I brought it here. And then it sat in the garage until I started the channel. And then I left it outside for 2.5 years. And the chipmunks moved into it. And they did a right number to it. But this thing, I can't, the hinges aren't attached, so I can take the hood off. But I went ahead and stripped out
everything that was unnecessary for a proper vehicle in here. So no ABS, because screw ABS.
Right.
And a lot of the electronics I'm not going to use. So the electronics, you can see that one hole right there, that goes to one of the ABS units. Or not units, but the sensors. So
yeah,
too much electronics in cars.
Than yours.
And there's the satellite. Which a lot.
You know what? I think that a car only needs a wiring harness about as sophisticated as a riding lawnmower. It doesn't need much more.
So that's what it's going in. The goal is to keep it light.
See,
and make it a good autocross car or drag racing.
And
mostly so I can drive it to the road.
Mopar Man 78 says he is a member of the AHRA. Very good. Very good. That means our stock as people go up when we join an outfit so good as that. Thank you for posting the link, Fubar.
And you can actually get a good idea.
What is this, Mopar Man 78? You heard a guy on a car channel refer to Vaseline as the devil's grease. That guy doesn't build transmissions.
Devil's grease? Oh, freaking.
That guy doesn't build transmissions.
Differential. There you go.
Yeah.
You can taste the smell of that.
So when is the satellite going to make it to the track? Because I remember you got rained out.
And then I've had a lot going on. Actually, we've had Summerfests. So I'm heavily involved in different organizations in the community. And yesterday I was just confirmed as the Sand Lake Kiwanis president.
I saw that on your community post. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. So it's this. I've been the incoming president and the vice president for a very long time. And so it's been pretty hectic. And next year, fortunately, I'll be able to lean on my vice president because I want to do Power Tour next year. I haven't decided what I'll take, but yeah, this year has been really hectic. Every time I tried doing something came up. And like either it was like trying to go down to Carlisle. It was that kind of stuff constantly.
Sure.
Not the same kind of stuff, fortunately.
Hopefully not.
And then it's like, unfortunately, because people are still kind of worried about what is going on in the world, it's hard to get a lot of we have 50 members. And, it's out of an organization that has like almost 5 million members worldwide. But our group has 50 members, and getting people to go out and to volunteer to help out the community, they're worried about their own well-being. And a lot of them are, like, rightfully so, they're like 90. So yeah, it's the younger, which there's only like 5-6 people that are younger in that entire group. So we've all been pretty much hell's bells this year. That's
the way it goes, but that's how a group survives. Got to be young people that have common values take it forward.
Right. And if you guys ever have an opportunity to look into Kiwanis, if you haven't already heard about them, they when I was in second grade, someone broke into our house and lit it on fire.
Wow.
We lost almost everything.
Wow.
The polite term to use for us was we were displaced for about a year.
Man.
And Kiwanis helped us out from everything from food when we needed it, like into the backpack programs we have. They gave us toys for Christmas, food for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So they're a great organization.
You know what? For people watching this on the replay, I'll post a link to Kiwanis down below. So if any of you guys watching this on replay, you can go to them. I know that Kiwanis is active in our town. They sponsor the Wilderness Trail Festival, meaning that they're the title sponsor and that a lot of funds are raised for them there. So that's pretty cool. Yeah,
if you ever if you want to meet someone with the biggest heart, like the people that are involved in Kiwanis that I've had the blessing or the blessed opportunity to meet, they're there for the right reason.
They are, and they are very different than a lot of groups I hear about that are in it for the handling fee, so to speak. That is not them. Everybody I know who's a member of Kiwanis, they have their heart in it. So there's something about that group that attracts the right people. I'll give them that.
And this year it was very important that we, like, every community, worldwide, we really did what we could, and it was tough.
Now your car show for Kiwanis.
Yeah.
Did you do a little bit to raise funds for them at your car show that you had?
We did. For the first year, we did really well. We had 67 cars show up.
Good.
Hopefully next year will be bigger. Our main fundraisers, we have 2 real good ones. Next year we'll focus on getting stuff from other businesses for like raffles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we had 2 car shows. One was the one that benefited Kiwanis. One was part of our Summerfest. We raised $4,000 for the veterans, and that goes into like the VA and stuff like that.
Very cool.
And then we had Summerfest proper, which is like, fireworks. We had the car show. We had everything like that, and that everything but the car show went into the Kiwanis, because last year especially we didn't make really
very cool
anything.
I like that you're getting in a position where you can really give back.
It's important.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you're able to do that, because now you've got 15,000 subs, something like that, and a good growing channel, a lot of reach, big microphone. You're able to now pay it forward. Yeah. I think that's super cool.
And the more I can convince people to go to it, then especially younger, like Kiwanis, the average age in Kiwanis is old, and it's not going to survive if that doesn't change. So.
Well, you're not old, so that's a big help.
Sometimes I feel like it.
Speaking of old, Andy Wood is in the house. I got a year and change on Andy. I can't call him old, but we have a really talented crew in here. I mean, Andy Wood, Unity Motorsports, Tom Muse, Moparnet 62. We've got a powerhouse of knowledge in the comments here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
Some of the greatest commenters too, as far as being helpful and not just
Andy and I are getting ready to work on something. We've been talking about this, and we're going to do it over the winter. So we got to collaborate every now and then. Here's the thing: if we blow up a really nice, expensive engine on a trip, then what that guarantees is the next collaboration has to be more successful. So it's just, if you make a Hindenburg moment out of one collaboration,
yep,
then the next one's going to be better by comparison.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I'm in the Georgia studio of the Great Outdoors right now. But when I come back to my studio, you're going to see a new addition. I'm starting to collect stickers from other people's channels. And Andy does not have stickers yet. However, I've got a piece of that engine that should go up on the wall with those stickers. So
nice.
Yeah, Dallas has come work on my Buick Super Stalker. We tell you what, we have a crew right now in this comments that could build an incredible race car. There's a ton of talent in these comments.
What are you running inside the Buick?
Yeah, Dallas, tell us about that car. something so jet about that comment. I'm not even going to ask.
I don't get it.
Very cool for you, Mr. Burns. Don't cry for,
nice here.
Yeah, don't cry for Casper Mopar Nut 62. That it's getting a new mill that is stout. Mopar Man 78 wants to know if there's a bear running around in the woods. Not that I know of, but if there is, we'll take care of it. Yeah, I'm worried about bears. Yeah, there you go. That's the rule of YouTube. Never let running out of things to say stop you.
Oh, Lord.
Dallas says Buick small block 364 cubes. Wow.
You've made some great small blocks. So I love Mopar. And John knows I love Mopar. And I love Toyota, mostly just the 2JZ, the 7M, and the what happened?
Nothing. We're good.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, no.
I can see you.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, well, I wasn't saying anything. We can hear you just fine. Oh, Brian's out. He might be back. Give him just a second here. Yes, that W2 headed 340. Super cool. Takes time, money, and being in the right place. Well, isn't that the truth for all of everything we do? Yes, it is.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
Phone had an alarm and it screwed everything off.
Mopar Den was one of those other can exploded.
But this is an engine I would really like to eventually dig into and put into a CJ5 or something along those lines. It's a small block old Buick. Buick made some phenomenal engines.
That's that high compression engine, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a 1970 SP block, so it's like a 10.5, almost 11-to-1 compression ratio from the factory.
Very cool.
And it's funny, the 1UZ is also a 10.5, depending on what bar they're coming out of that day.
Well, that will be different. Dallas talked to Tony about building a poly-headed 340 or 360. I've never seen that before. I don't know why you couldn't do it. I mean, the lifter angles are right, so you could do it.
Well, what about oil and water passages?
I know it's okay. I've seen LA heads put on a poly block before, so I would imagine the reverse is possible. But I think the reason it's never been done is those poly heads were more limited. But their cannon valves are cool. Like
a Buick, right? If you take 430 heads, you can put that on a 455, but you can't take 455 heads and put it on a 430.
I don't know. That's one of those mysteries. I'm glad there's a lot of people on YouTube to solve. I think don't
know until you try.
Poly build off. Go for it. I like the poly.
I don't know what I did now. I can see the words or the comments you post now better.
Yeah. Dallas says it's the same block. Well, Dallas is Mr. Buick. If I had a Buick question, Dallas is who I'd ask. Dallas, I owe you a phone call, by the way. I've tried a couple of times. I'm going to return your call when I can.
So did you bore it or stroke it, or what did you do to get the? I'm curious to see what you did to get the extra cubic inches out of it.
Yeah, Dallas is saying you oil through the push rods for the poly. Yeah, you can do that. You just use the Magnum lifter push rods.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, polys are cool. I've never owned one. I think they're cool.
They're definitely underrated.
So here's the thing. We can hang out as long as you want to. I want to respect your time. So the only time I promised to sequester you for was an hour. But we can. I know you're a family man. We want you be able to wrap up and everything. So
yeah, Samantha's starting to call.
Yeah.
Me, so.
Out of courtesy for Brian, let's get our last two questions in, and we'll wrap up and let Brian get on with his life tonight. How's that? Dallas says that 364 is bored 30, and he's got an offset ground crank for 50 more in stroke.
Okay,
that's cool.
Neat.
That is neat. If you can offset ground to crank that much, that tells me you could salvage a crank that's damaged pretty badly. If you can cut one that much.
That's pretty crazy.
We got a good crowd tonight.
Buick made, other than the oiling issues, which can be easily resolved, they made freaking awesome engines. And if you're putting a lot of horsepower through the big block, like the 455 that I have sitting over there, definitely girdle the bottom of the engine. You got it.
So this is a good question. We'll make this one the last one of the night. You had technical difficulties making Carlisle 2021.
Yep.
What is your prospect looking like for 2022?
I might not bring the satellite down to it. I don't know. I'll definitely be there this year or next year. So
we said we'd have two questions. Here's the second one. Brian can answer it, and then we're out. Jed asks, who would win in a cage fight, grilled cheese or a taco?
Grilled cheese.
We know what Duddy's adventure answer would be. What say you?
It's got to be the grilled cheese. Tacos are soft.
Oh,
This hard. They're just their shell's too soft, man.
Duddy, you just crushed Duddy's adventure's soul. Duddy is Mr. Tacos. Well, I'll tell you what. It's been a wonderful stream, guys. Really had a lot of fun, a lot of great energy and enthusiasm. Fubar put up the link for what jumped on me. Fubar put up the link for Bryan's channel for Lunar Outlaw Garage. Check out Kiwanis Club. I'm going to put a link to them for those of you watching this on replay. And we'd love to have you back on sometime.
Absolutely. Have fun.
So been a lot of fun. I'm going to shut it down now, guys.
Yeah, reach out to me about the helping me with the oiling mods. That'd be fantastic.
You bet. You bet. We'll get together. You'll see more from us. I'm sure there's a collaboration in our future somewhere.
Awesome. You guys have yourselves a wonderful night. And remember, as always, keep your shiny side up, and God bless.
Oh, and don't forget, doing is better than dreaming. We'll see you guys. Have a good evening.